Morning to you, gang. It's Boxing Day, the 26th of December 2019. Welcome along to the Chapel Hill Marina. And this morning's United Kingdom tour. I sound a bit echoey today. Oh, there we are. I'm listening to myself back on the speakers, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I love to listen and watch my own shows over and over again. I really do. Shall we do early viewers this morning? Let's do early viewers this morning. Joey Millen, right up there with the first message this morning. Morning, Joey. Adrian Richardson, Paul and Lou in the house. Morning to young, jukey Chrissy boy. Rachel, good morning, Rachel. You're right, darling. You'll be pleased to know that Gary has now received his orange Super Chat pen. I told you there wasn't many left. I've only got 4 left now. 4 Super Chat pens left. Oh, hang on a minute. It doesn't... Oh, hang on, let me think. No. Shania won a bingo pen, didn't she? So we've got blue, green, dark bluey, mauve and white. They're the last 4 left at the moment. That's all I've got here. I said I had some up here in Lincolnshire, didn't I? Morning to Sean Pye. It's Gavin and Stacey. No, I didn't watch that. It's not something that I ever did watch, to be honest. That being said, my sister really wanted to watch it last night. Unfortunately, I had to leave the house earlier than I thought I would, but I'll come to that in a minute. Mandy Davenport, good morning to you. Steph Diamond is there. Hello, Mr. Ray Reynolds. Welcome to Ray Reynolds as well. And fun things to do with tech, Sparky. We quite like that. A very good morning to you as well. So here we are, Boxing Day. It seems a bit odd to me that it's Thursday. I know that sounds stupid, but you see, I come up here and I get here very early Tuesday morning, so the whole of Tuesday, the whole of Wednesday, the whole of Thursday, and then I go back down on Friday, and it seems like I've just arrived. Isn't that strange? I suppose because I've been so busy, really. What we've been up here, I got up here for Christmas Eve morning. Christmas Eve, went swimming, went over to my nephew's, had a great time there, went to the midnight mass. Then it was Christmas Day, which of course was yesterday, and now it's Thursday already, and it's gone incredibly quickly this year, but there we are. Very cold last night when I came back to the caravan. Oh my word. You know, the heating was on all night long. Got around my sister's yesterday just after 1 o'clock, just after the show. At 1 o'clock, I made a special appearance on the Retro Restore show yesterday. Made a special appearance. I wasn't on there too long. You know, I mean, the money wasn't right, to be honest. You know, if you want me to turn up at events, I do have to be paid. This is not a charitable institution. So I was on there for a while until Harry, great nephew Harry, grabbed me. And we played, I have to write this down because I never remember what it calls. Jenga. Jenga. Do you know what Jenga is? So you've got these little sticks, square sticks. Chris, this is the sort of thing you and I could play on the floor, dear. You've got these little square sticks, and I think they're in... Are they in 2s or 3s? I can't remember. And you build it up. So great nephew Harry builds these up like that, you know, like that. And then you have to take one's sort of halfway down the pile and put it on top without tipping the thing over. So that was great fun. Played that with him for a while. Then we had dinner. Absolutely lovely. Really, really nice Christmas dinner, as cooked by my sister, including my vegetarian option. But I can't remember what was in it, but it was lovely. Better than, actually better than the corn roasts that we've just bought out of a box over the years. So that was really nice. And then we had presents, and I gave, what did I give people? I gave my sister a bag, which I bought from Cyprus, at my niece's suggestion. Because that's what my apparently, when my sister was over in Cyprus, she saw this bag and liked it. So when I was over there, I bought that and bought it back. So that was a red, like a shoulder bag type thing. I bought my nephew a top thing, you know, from Jim King. Jim King, yes, my nephew a top thing. I bought my nephew's wife a little red purse. I think it's red. I bought great nephew Harry a Harry Potter bus. So it's like a purple thing with 3 stories. I bought great niece Olivia a little light up bally type thing. Great niece Evie a gym mat, because she does gym. If you ever see, whenever I go round there, she has to do gym demonstrations for us. and she does things like stands on her head and flips over and all that. Something that you or I could never do again, dear. You know, that moment has passed. The bus has left the station. The plane has taken off. Not for us. And she's very good at it, flipping over and doing cartwheels and all that business. Then I went halves with my sister on an oven for Martin. I can't remember what that's to do, but my sister knows all about it. Maybe to put paint on things or something like that, I think it is. So that was there. Jimmy, I bought a tracksuit top, which actually Jukey Chris would have liked. You would have liked that. I think that's it, isn't it? I think that's it. Is that everyone? Yes, I'm sure that's everyone. So that was everyone that was there yesterday, and we gave out presents. I got some nice things, lovely things, which I'm going to show you in a moment. Good morning to, let's have a look who else has appeared there. Alan Wainwright, good morning to you. Hello, Diane. Diane sent me this beautiful Christmas card. Here it is, look. Isn't that lovely? Beautiful, beautiful Christmas card, which Diane bought me and sent to me in the post. And it's so nice, that is. It's really nice, that. Thank you, Diane. And some other bits and pieces that Diane sent me. Look, I've got to show you this. This is camp, this is camp. Look, this. First of all, this, my caravan mug. Can you see that? From Diane. And then this, I think this is probably my favourite, Diane. Chris Reardon, the greatest talker in the world. And I have been appearing on the Sun mug. Look at this. This is you. Rabbit, rabbit, rabbit. So thank you for that, Diane. As well as this little Christmas trees which she sent, which I absolutely adore. Look, watch this. You want one of these, don't you? Yes. Isn't that fantastic? And I move as well as that, actually, when I'm on the dance floor. It's absolutely... I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I move as well as that does on the dance floor when I'm on a dance floor somewhere. Look how it moves. Look sexily. Yeah, but... Oh, and it spins around as well. I love it. I love it, Diane. Ba-ba-ba. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bell something, jingle bell something else. I love it. Oh, can you face us when you're singing, please? I hope that don't set off the copyright police. Oh, you know, they're dreadful, they are, the copyright police. Oh, you're playing our records. We want some money for that. You know, like that sounds remotely like anyone who's a singer. I love it. Thank you very much for that, Diane. Must have cost you a fortune to send that in the post, as well as an extremely large bar of Cadbury's Dairy Milk Chocolate. Yes. Which I had some of that last night, indeed. I had 6 bags of crisps yesterday. It's Christmas Day, love, yesterday. I'm off the crisps now, back off the crisps. My next large bag of crisps will be on my birthday. Thank you very much, on February the 5th. No more crisps now, or evilness until February the 5th. That's it. We're back on the Slimming World immediately. So thank you, Diane. Very good morning to Mick Davenport. Who's this now? Tokan Research and Education Observatory. I know who that is. Good morning to you. I know who that is. It's Evan from Cornwall. Good morning, Evan. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, boys and girls, we don't see your messages, I'm afraid. You need to join us on YouTube, and also you only get the first 10 minutes of the show, okay? So you'll be about to leave us here. YouTube.com/Chris Reardon UK. Go on there, hit the subscribe button, get your little notifications bell thing switched on as well. And then whenever we do a show, you'll get a little bing, just like you do on Facebook. Okay, and that'll work very well for you, as it does from everyone else. Once you come on to YouTube, you'll see everyone else watching there. There's a little chat box. You can chat to me or anyone else who's on the chat box, and you can join in the full United Kingdom talk experience over there on YouTube, okay? So join us right now on youtube.com/Chris Reardon UK, and we'll see you over there, okay? Then I can read your messages. Thank you. Just takes a couple of seconds there for the thing to click off, you see. That's why there's always a little bit of a gap there. Good. Yes, love to see you, Evan. Lovely to see you watching the stars. The stars shine bright across the night. Deep in the heart of Cornwall. Did you see how I made that up there? I could have been a songwriter. You know, maybe I am the new Stormzy. Yes, I could. He needs to clean up his mouth, that one, dear. Good morning to Gar. Good morning to Gar. Lovely Christmas. Thank you very much, Gar. Tony King in the house. Good morning, Tony. Jason Hughes. Hello to you. Roy the boy. Good morning, Roy. Morning, young Roy. Is that everyone? Michael Lawrence is there. Good morning, Michael Lawrence. And Mike Rees-Ponto. Mike Rees-Ponto, you will be very, very interested in one of the gifts that I have received from Martin and Sharon, my brother-in-law and my sister. Perhaps I should show you what I've received now, boys and girls. As I say, that's from my niece. My niece bought me that lovely mug, which is London 206. So, anyone remember that jingle? London 206. Look at that. There's that one there. I've dropped great nephew Harry's card there. I must put that there. And two other things I wanted to show you, boys and girls. First of all, this this is from Gary and his mob. That's my nephew. A Braun electric shaver. This is fantastic, and it's the one with a foil, right? I will now demonstrate this. I mean, I could do one of those opening box programs, you know, like a lot of the people have on YouTube. Why are there all these instructions on? Oh, it's all in foreign, is it? Dansk, Italian. Oh, who have we got in here? Look, have a look. Svenska, Netherlands, Dansk. What else have we got here? So where's Svenska? I don't know where Svenska is. Suomi. Suomi? Never know. Polski. We know that one. Polski. Polski. They have Polish food shops down in Boston. Well, actually, they have them everywhere. I mean, have you ever go past a Polish food shop? It usually says Polski Delicatessen. And to make it more like they're actually in Poland, what they do is they don't open the shop until there's a queue of 500 people waiting to buy one loaf of bread. That's how it works. Here we are. Look at the colour. Isn't that lovely? And it's got one of those rubber grips so that you can hold it really hard. And it's got this thing on there. And it's that foil thing. So, and then look. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, wonderful, dear. What a wonderful device this is. I love the smell of new things as well, don't I? What was it? I was smelling something of my sister's the other day, and she said, "Oh, you're really weird." I think it was a book. Or it might have been at my nephew's house. There was a book. I love the smell of a new book, don't you? You open those leaves, or the pages, rather, and you get that smell of new paper. So that's my Braun electric shaver. Since we got rid of the beard, beards are now completely out of fashion, boys and girls. I mean, any man that you see with those dirty old grey beards that's dipping down in their tomato sauce. Oh, how awful. Just dreadful. Beards are now out. You must remember, I am a leader, not a follower of fashion, you know. And if I tell you the beards are out, then they're out. No more beards, please. Get rid of them, thank you. JJ's Motors and Machines, good morning to you. You're talking to each other. There's Gary Rees-Ponto as well. Gary, good morning, Gary. Is Mike there? Because he's going to be very interested in our next item. Did we say hello to one man and his Sprinter van this morning? Very good morning to you. There's young Fran Green. Good morning, Fran. Morning, Fran. All right. And here is the other gift. Look at this, a Stream Deck. Now, probably most of you won't require one of these, but this is very good. This is very good. It's a little box, right? Basically, it's a box with buttons on it. Okay, here it is. Here it is. You're going to love this. The little box has got these buttons on it. None of them are lit up at the moment, okay? Now, when I do... Oh, hang on. The thing's dropped out there. Now, while I'm doing my show, I change various things like this. I'm doing things all the time, okay? Now, generally, to do them, I've got to look over at my TV screen, my monitor there. And, what's that supposed to be? Text 3. What's that? Oh, that's the Lincolnshire sign. All these buttons here do something. There's the Union Jack one. There we are. Look at that in the top left-hand corner. Okay, all these buttons do something, and also changing from camera to camera, that one over there, and taking the date up and down, that sort of thing, right? Running the various films like that. Caption there. So there's buttons here. I've got my various karaoke things here, the raffle time, the closing film. It's all on here, right? So it's all on there like that. And I have to look across, and there's a list of things over there. And it says flag, Christmas opener, camera 2 and date, camera 1, Christmas close, nighttime opener, close, and various things down there. This, right, what I should be able to do is plug this into the computer and assign things that my mouse at the moment does to this, right? So, you know, I start the show, so you're watching that film, and then I should be able to go like that, like, you know, with my hand, not having to look at the screen, like that, and go, and then that camera come on over there. And I do that, and that camera come on over there. And I might do that, and the little YouTube thing that tells people to come over on YouTube, that will come on, and then I do that, and something else will happen. Isn't that fantastic? Now, this is something I looked at, and I kept going on at Martin for him to buy one. Probably more useful at my house than it is down here, only because we do more from the house, like the raffle, the bingo, and that requires quite a lot of things. And there's to look over at your list of things and keep tapping and all that can get a little bit confusing sometimes because there's so much on there. Although Martin did show me yesterday that I didn't realise you can change... Oh, I'm going to do that now, actually. I'm going to change the colour of some of my things. Let's change the colour. Set colour. We'll set the colour of the email to red. Oh, yeah, I've done it. Something I learned while I was watching the production. The very professional production of the Retro Restore show yesterday, which I made an appearance in, boys and girls. And this would make it much, much easier. As I say, it's something I looked at, and I kept going on at my brother-in-law to buy one. But I need great justification to purchase anything for myself. That's true, that is. I do need great justification to buy anything for myself, like the bathroom. You know, I've had the bathroom done here. Now, the reason I had the bathroom done here is because the shower was so pathetic. I mean, the shower, it was even more pathetic than watching me doing this show. I'm telling you that now. The bathroom was pathetic, so I had the shower done. Plus I had a blooming shower curtain in there as well, where it just kept sticking to me. Oh, can't bear it. Can't bear. So that's why I had that done. I bought, what else have I bought this year? A new kettle for the I mean, nowhere near as dear as the bathroom. Bathroom wasn't over expensive. It really wasn't. Not for if I say, you know, if someone says to you, I've had the bathroom done in my house, you know, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. But, you know, for the caravan, a fraction probably of what you'd pay to have it done in a house. I bought a new kettle this year. Why did I buy a kettle? Because it's a lower wattage than a normal kettle. The kettle I have in the caravan is only 700 watts. Your kettles at home will be probably about 3,500 watts. Why? Because the amount of electricity coming in a caravan isn't as much as what you got at a house, right? So you put a kettle on, you can blow all the fuses. And when I say blow them, I don't mean break them. I mean they click off. You know, they're not fuses, are they? They're breakers, and they click off, which happened once or twice. And, you know, you're making it, you put the kettle on it, click, everything goes off. You have to come out the caravan, turn it all back on again. So that's why. I need a justification to buy anything. That's why. So I couldn't find a justification to do this simply because I look over here and I click with the mouse. But they've bought me one. So I'm very happy with this, and I shall set this up on my home computer. I think I might be going to sneeze now. One moment. Oh, dear. Oh, dear me. So there we are. That's what I got from my brother-in-law and sister, including some other little bits and pieces, which is very kind of them to buy such things. So I'm very, very pleased with that. Very, very pleased with that. Years ago, one of their Christmas gifts to me was a flip cam. What's a flip cam? It was one of the earliest cam camcorder type things that was really easy to use. It looked a bit like a large iPhone, except there were no iPhones then. You had camcorders, right? There was no like little device. There were no GoPros. There was nothing like that. Flip cam was one of the first things that come out, and you literally touched a button and you would film. And it was very good. Very good. That's another present they had. Of course, I don't really use that now because everything's moved on. I mean, I can't believe I can sit here in front of a small little camera, which is about 4 inches long and about, I don't know, half an inch, 3/4 of an inch wide, and I'm sending you high definition pictures. I can't believe I can do that now. 10 years ago, it was all a little bit pixelated, little squares and things like that. Look at it now. Amazing. When it works. Actually, it's not the equipment in here that doesn't work. It's the internet that fails sometimes. But there we are. That's what we bought there. Let's scroll back and say hello to some of you just joining us this morning. Heidi. Very good morning to Heidi. Very good morning to Heidi. She's been on Facebook telling people the address, but she only had 10 minutes. Bless her heart, darling. Morning, Heidi. I expect you had a nice time yesterday with your family, did you? Were your children happy, Heidi? I hope they were, darling. Morning to Scott Walker. Morning, Scott. SOS Gregorian is in the house. Kevin James. A very good morning to Kevin. I think you're new there. Thank you, Kevin. He's in the Philippines. Morning, Kevin. Mikey Mike, the Steam Deck is great. He's got one too. Oh, right, okay. I didn't know you had one there, Mike. Ah, excellent. Mikey Mike is... have you started doing your videos yet? Or are you still kind of getting ready and preparing? Those that prepare will always succeed, dear, even if it takes you 10 years. Come on, let's see some things there. All right. Let's have a look. I think you're talking to each other. What did you buy, Martin and Sharon? Was it from Poundland? Oh, nothing that expensive. No, my sister got a red bag from Cyprus, and my brother-in-law went half of my sister on this oven thing that he uses for his work there. Okay. Classic Restorer. A very good morning to Classic Restorer joining us today. Let's have a look there. The Shed Singer in the house. Good morning. Shed Singer's got Bubble and Squeak today, and then playing with dolls. Have you got daughters or great? Can't remember how old you are now. Daughters or great granddaughters or something. You've got to sit there and play with dolls. My great niece Evie. She's had a baby for Christmas. No, she hasn't actually had a baby. She's only 7. She's got this baby and she carries it around. Bless her heart. Isn't it funny how children do that? I just wanted to keep... I told her I was going to eat the baby for Christmas dinner. She got ever so upset. Great nephew Harry thought it was hilarious. I said, well, what does it do? Does it cry? And she says, no, it doesn't do anything. I said, well, it must do something. You know, does it wee? Because you get these babies that wee, don't you? I don't know why you'd want to buy a baby that wheezes. And they cry and they make noise. No, this one doesn't do anything. But it's scary. It looks like an actual baby. It really does. All the skin tone and the little lips and things like that. And she walks around with it in her arm. Little baby. I'm going to eat the baby. No, Uncle Chris. Oh, I'm so horrible. So horrible. Good morning to... thank you, man. Sorry, you're talking to each other. Morning, Colin Kay. Hello, Colin. Welcome along to Colin. There's my sister. Good morning, Sharon. Thumbs up. I did try and ring you back a couple of times, Sharon, but no answer. Sharon's very excited. She's now got an Amazon, not the Echo, the other one, the big one. What's that called? Amazon. I don't know what that's called. The large Amazon thing. She's got that, and that's all set up. They're getting used to how that works and what have you. And nephew Gary was given, among other things, an Amazon show. That was from his wife, Stacey. And that's like a screen type affair. Whether or not he can call me from it, I don't know. Because obviously I've only got the Amazon Dots. I'm going to check in the sale to see if the Amazon Dot with a clock is on special offer. And the reason is the clock in the living room I got back on Tuesday night has failed. I don't know why. I went in there and the battery broke thing. I managed to fix that with some tin foil. And then put it back together, and then the second hand dropped off. And I went, oh, come. So I put it in the bin. And then I moved the clock from the bedroom into the living room. So now I haven't got a clock in the bedroom, right? And I was telling Gary about this on Tuesday night, that I might look for a clock. Excuse me, I've had quite bad breathing yesterday. Just a minute. So I'm getting a lot of crap coming up at the moment. So I keep leaning across. What I do when I do that, you see, I turn the mic off so you can't hear that disgusting noise of me sniffing. So I said that to Gary. And he said, well, why don't you just ask Alexa what the time is? You know, which I do. You know, Alexa, what's the time? I'm just about hear her. You probably can't hear her there. I asked her this morning. She said she was having trouble connecting to the internet. I said, well, try harder. Blooming cheek. Anyway, so he said, why don't you just ask Alexa? And I thought, yeah, you're right, actually. I do anyway. So why not just do that? And when you're in bed, you know, it's the middle of the night, 3 o'clock in the morning, you wake up, I wonder what the time is. You look up, Alexa, and you don't have to speak loud. Alexa, what's the time? And she tells you. Very good. But it didn't quite work this morning, did it? As you can see from your clocks. I woke up a couple of times last night and I thought, well, it can't be time yet. Then I woke up and I said, oh, what's the time now? And she said, it's 9:20. I thought, it can't be 9:20. It can't be 9:20. And, of course, I got up and it was. That's why I'm so late this morning. But I know why I woke up late this morning, which I'll come to in a minute. So I think I'm going to get the one with the clock. Because if I had looked over and seen it was earlier when I first asked, when it was earlier than 9:20, then I wouldn't have got up so late and we would have been here much earlier than that, okay? Oh, Rachel's got a surround sound on Amazon, £350 down to 115. What make is that, Rachel? Oh, let's make a note of that. What make is that, Rachel? We want to know the make of that, please, Rachel. Are you going to buy one? One of the things with the sound on modern televisions, it is abysmal on modern televisions. Not only that, I have great difficulty with many people's televisions with their sound bars. I've got a sound bar down at the house, which is must be about 4 years old now. It's about 4 or 5 years old now. Might be a Panasonic sound bar. And this has got a little valve in it, which glows orange, which is lovely. All right. My nephew's got a sound bar thing. And there's many times we just can't hear the dialogue properly. And there's couple of people that I noticed have got sound bars, and it's all right when the volume's loud, but when the volume goes down, it sounds like they're mumbling. And I keep seeing stories in the newspapers from people that appear to have exactly the same problem. Whether this is something to do with the fact that it's a sound bar or not, I don't know. Using the volume only on the television itself, okay, so listening to the television speakers, well, the quality of the sound is not particularly good, but I can hear it. If you turn it up to a certain level, you can hear everything. You hear the whispering, you can hear the loud bits. The problem with sound bars, and it's exactly the same at my nephew's house, and he would know what he's doing, is that one minute you've turned the damn thing right up because you can't hear the dialogue, and then suddenly you get hit with this booming sound where the volume appears to have turned itself up again. I don't know if you've noticed that with your sound bar as well, but I think this is something to do with sound bars. And I do wonder if I got one of those other little systems, you know, with separate speakers, 2 separate speakers at the front, rather than a blooming great big long thing in the middle, whether that would or not cure the problems. One of the best sound systems I ever heard was my niece's husband, which they still have, which is years old. They've got this sound system with 2 speakers at the front. I think there's a bass thing in the middle at the front and 2 little ones behind them. You can hear everything. Everything, but it's just useless. These sound bars are blooming useless. Good morning to Big Joe. Morning to Big Joe. Roy the boy got a watch. Roy the boy got a watch. Well done, Roy. Can we have some very good on the thumbs up yesterday, boys and girls? We had a lot of thumbs up yesterday. I'm sorry, I'm coughing a bit this morning. I'll tell you why in a minute. So that was a Logitech one, was it? Oh, that I don't know much about Logitech sound systems. All the cameras I use are Logitech, though. So if they're as good at sound as they are with cameras, then I'm sure it would be all right. Joe is full of turkey. He's even bigger now. He'll eat turkey for years. Oh, you don't need to eat it for years. Just chuck it out, dear. Chuck it out and buy a new one. Buy something new. Mick saw his mother-in-law yesterday. For 5 minutes, it was lovely driving away from her. SOS Grigori. It is the sound of silence. It was happening on that excellent... I finished last night watching that excellent Scrooge adaptation. And Scrooge, as played by... what's his name now? Guy Pearce, who of course was in Neighbours, and he's been in many other things. Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. He's a really, really good actor. Just a minute. Oh gosh. That's better. Adrian says the sound is affected by how they recorded the quality of the film and what setting they've had on it. So there is a that's white while it changes. If it's out of HD or 4 going into Toby. What's Toby? I don't know what you mean there. Had a that's white change. Why it changes? Well, I mean, what, all of them? It's practically anything you watch. It's dreadful. The sound quality on soundbars is absolutely dreadful. I have you on TV at the moment. Coming through my soundbar, you were booming. What one have you got, Mikey Mike? I noticed that there is there's a Bose system out. Last time I was in Selfridges, which is about six or 7 months ago now, there was a Bose one in there. And I swear, how much is this one? We listened to it, and it's got a button on it to boost the vocals, like people speaking, which seemed to work very well, I have to say. And I asked the price of it. It was about 350 quid, and I was tempted. I said, well, that's not. I suppose that's not bad for all this. You know, you pretend that it's not too bad. Not too bad for that for all that really. He said, well, that's for the sound bar, and the bass bit is £350, so it's 700 altogether. Oh, mind you, maybe it'd be on special now. I'm going to make a note of that. I'll make a note of that. Because I just can't hear the damn thing on the telly. I've got everything turned right up, and then there's a bit of music, and it booms out. It's awful. It's awful. You can hook up that sound if you get the bigger Amazon Alexa stuff. Oh, is that right? Ah. Now, one of the karaoke singers, DJ Chris, of course, the Amazon... Of course, you'd need Bluetooth, I would assume. My telly's got Bluetooth. I don't know if the one here's got Bluetooth. Mind you, you can't really have it in a caravan because the sound insulation is terrible. And if I had something like that, the neighbours would be complaining, dear. I hate to upset my neighbours. I'll have a look at those as well then. Good morning to Anthony Warmby. A very good morning to you, Anthony. Mike's got the Panasonic soundbox that sits under a shelf under the TV. Well, it's like a silver soundbar is mine. Silver thing, and there's a bass thing that sits in a corner, and that connects Bluetooth all automatically. So when you turn that on, that one picks up the signal when it comes out there as well. Very good, really, very good. So there we are. Good. So that's the news on the soundbar. After we'd done the presents and that, I kind of fell asleep in the fallback chair, but my breathing wasn't too good. When I go to my sister's house, I have the most terrible trouble breathing. And I woke up, I think around about 6:30, and I kept having this. I must have done that about 20 times, and it was always the same. I was okay till so I got there about 1, and I was okay till about 4:30ish, 5 o'clock, and then it started. I had one of those little antihistamine things, but they only seem to work in there for about 3 or 4 hours. And it does say on the packet, 1 a day. So, oh, you can have another. I don't know what it would do if you had a second one. You have to remember, I do have other pills, so I have to be careful of interactions between various different types of drugs. But I had one of these little small, tiny, they're very small, aren't they? The antihistamine things, which appeared to work for about 3 hours, I suppose, after which it started getting worse and worse. I don't tend to tell anyone. Like, and then my nephew's wife says, she says, I can hear that in your breathing. And eventually I left at about 9 o'clock. I left about 9 o'clock. I left, unfortunately, which is not when I wanted to leave. I wanted to be there till the end, till they all went to bed. But there you go. It's just how it is. And really, I should leave immediately it starts, because while you're putting up with it, it just gets worse. It's frightening, really. It scares me. It scares me. It really does. And I leave the house, and depending on how long I've put up with it, is the recovery as well. Literally, if I leave as soon as it starts happening, I'll leave the house, be driving back to the caravan, and within 15 minutes, the is replaced by, and it's gone. It's gone. If I sit there and put up with it, the recovery is much longer, and it probably took about 45 minutes to recover from that yesterday. But it also tires you out. This problem breathing thing, and it's got to be to do with the animals that she has in there. The problem breathing thing is, where was I going with that? I forgot what I was going to say now. It causes Alzheimer's as well. It makes you tired. It really makes you tired. So I got back to the caravan. I had a cup of tea. I had the most dreadful acid reflux yesterday, but I'm not surprised with the amount we ate. Plus the bits of chocolate and things and crisps. Terrible. Terrible. It's gone now. But it didn't go last night. And I've had this blooming medicine, this anti-acid Galveston stuff. Oh, God. I was sitting there, so I thought, well, I'll watch a couple of TV programs because I won't be able to sleep. Not while this acid is going on. But that lasts for hours as well. So I'm sitting there watching the telly, and I watched both the last 2 episodes of The Scrooge with Guy Pearce. Very, very good. Watch it on the iPlayer. It's really good. It's 3 episodes, and they've mucked around with it a little bit. Probably a little bit too dark for children to watch that one with you. So watch that one on your own. And I watched that, and I went to bed at around about 10:30, I think it was. I went to bed. 11. I went to bed about 11:30, and I was nice and cosy. As I said, it was freezing cold out there, absolutely freezing last night. So I had my heating on all night, and that's fine, not cold. And I woke up a couple of times to have a wee, came back, and then suddenly it was like 9:20 in the morning when I woke up. So it makes you tired as well. And after I've had that sort of asthma thing, then I do tend to sleep for a long time afterwards. So that's the reason of that, okay? I didn't get to have any of my the gingerbread house, unfortunately. The gingerbread house that I think my great nephew Harry and great niece Evie built. There is a gingerbread story actually in the Daily Mirror this morning on this terribly old computer, which that's been giving me problems this morning. This old computer I read the news out of. It's so slow you wouldn't believe. It says a 2,000 building gingerbread city in Bergen, Norway, has its own football stadium made, and then you can buy it all and scoff the lot. 95 stone this thing weighs. It's a gingerbread... damn computer. It's a... Come on. God's sake, man. This is going to be replaced, I tell you. I'll get another refurbished one. They're so cheap. Doesn't need to be anywhere near as powerful as the broadcaster, just to read the news stories off. It jumps around all over the place, the picture. It's terrible. Inside the 95 stone gingerbread house Christmas town made up of 2,000 tasty homes. Oh, and it looks fantastic. And someone's built an entire town out of gingerbread. Oh, come on. Come on, behave for me, please. I only want to read a couple of news stories. There's nothing on there at all now. Oh, this has got to go. This damn thing has got to go. How can I do my shows with stuff, with crap like rubbish like this? Let's refresh the page. Give that a second. I'll read some of your messages instead. How far did we go asleep there? There's Gary Butler. Good morning, Gary. Mikey Mike's watching on the TV in the living room, and my other Gary is watching on the iPad in the kitchen. Excellent news. Yes, if you've got any more gadgets to watch me on, please switch them all on. That'll get my numbers up. We need more viewers. Things are desperate here. Martin turns on the blooming thing, and he's got 2 million people watching instantly. Here it just crawls up. Oh, we might get another one in the next half hour if we're lucky. Right, I think that's working now. Hang on a minute. Here we are. If you were impressed with yourself mastering your supermarket build your gingerbread house kit, did you see those? How many people do those? As I say, great nephew Harry and great niece Evie did theirs. This £2,000 building, 600 kilograms sweet biscuit creation is so large, it even features the town's local football stadium. I think it's fantastic what they've done with this. Constructed in the Norwegian town of Bergen, this mouth-watering biscuit mountain, biscuits, oh, no biscuits till birthday time. This biscuit mountain is built by kindergarteners, school children, local businesses and volunteers alike. Named Pekka-Keikabelen, meaning gingerbread city, the tradition has been running since 1991, and that's a long time ago, 1991, isn't it? 01, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. That's 28 years ago. That scared you, innit? 1991 is 28 years ago. Look at all the wonderful people we've lost in that time. You know, family members, friends, people off the telly. The creator, Stena Christofferson, said, "It's the biggest gingerbread city from year one. It's nicely decorated, it's big and a great adventure for everyone before Christmas. As well as the gingerbread base, constructions are decorated with ornate icing and sweet candies. In fact, so much detail goes into Pepper Cake Kakye-Ben. You'll find everything from tiny homes, trains, cars, boats to international signature buildings. Even SK Brand Football Stadium makes an appearance." And I think it's great. And it says, what happens to this succulent city? That's a good word. Succulent. Do you like that word? What happens to this succulent city? Once it's been admired, every year the houses are auctioned off in a newspaper advert. Anyone can buy a house and the money goes to children's charities. And it looks fantastic. Oh, wouldn't you like to get your teeth around that, eh? Gingerbread houses. Oh, yes. Like gingerbread man. I told you the other day I was in John Lewis in Oxford Street on last Wednesday, I think it was. I think it was Wednesday I went to John Lewis in Oxford Street after going around Hamleys and all that. They had some gingerbread men there, which were a decent size, I must say. They were quite large, but it was £7. God, £7 for a gingerbread man. And they had the gingerbread houses already made, and they were only £4. So I don't know how they work the prices of that one. Adrian, sound-wise, if you hooked up to the Amazon stuff, the level of music on the sound would be lower for quality of the sound. Would also be better. Oh, well, I don't know then. Now, you see, now there was me going to try that out. Now you've put me off that, Adrian. So you can't win, can you? Everyone's got a different opinion of everything. That's the trouble. You know? One person tells you to buy that. Oh, I'm just about to buy this. Oh, no, don't do that. Don't do that. I was talking to my brother-in-law about that the other day. You know, everyone's like... different differences of opinion, and you have to sift through them and work out what you think is gonna suit you and perhaps not someone else. It's difficult when you're buying stuff. Scrolling down once again, a very good morning to High Grade Gaming, just joining us. Oh, he's got a curved TV. Ooh, I looked at those when I replaced my television at home, which was a couple of years ago now. I thought about a curved TV. Lovely, lovely. You remember when all those 3D TVs came out? I knew that was going to be a fad. When they first came out and they were pushing them and pushing them and pushing them, I knew that wasn't going to take off. Absolutely knew that. You sit there with these blooming spectacles on. Dear me. Good morning to Amelia Dodd there. Morning to you. No, high-grade gaming, it's just this old computer next to me here, which is running, it might be Windows 7, but it's really old and it's so slow trying to get things to come up on the screen. Basically web pages, and the adverts flash up. It's a blooming nightmare. That's the one I read the news stories up there. Now, I'm really sorry, because there's so many people chatting, I'm missing messages. I'm aware of that. It's difficult. You try and pull out the messages that are of interest to people, rather than people chatting to each other. So I'm trying to keep up with that there. I'll tell you what, there you go. If you've got something that you really, really want read out, email it, and I keep an eye on the emails, okay? That would be really easy. If you wanted something like read out of great interest to people, then just email it in, and I'll keep an eye on the emails while I'm doing the show as well. So that won't get missed out. That absolutely won't get missed out, okay? Assuming, because then it was just chatting to me rather than everyone else. That would work quite well. All right. Morning to... do you think the TV was completely, utterly rubbish? Yesterday? I don't know, really. I think I look for the TV that I saw perhaps as a younger person. Not necessarily a child, as a younger person. And that's why I look at it now and I think, oh, what a load of rubbish. Most of the people are dead, unfortunately. Bruce Forsyth, Morecambe and Wise... The two Ronnies, Parkinson, Mike Yarwood. Oh, God, I really miss Mike Yarwood. He had several Christmas specials back in his 70s, wasn't it? He was very, very funny, Mike Yarwood. I thought he was absolutely excellent. Unfortunately, he hit the bottle, didn't he? And he kind of lost his way a little bit. But I miss all those programmes. There was the film on, was it Finding Nemo? I think we watched about 20 minutes of that, and my sister got fed up, so we turned that over. I can't remember what to now, but I wasn't really watching it. Top of the Pops, well, they've shifted that off the 2 o'clock spot to something else, much earlier. I think we do look for stuff that we saw as children, and of course it's no longer there now, unless you flick across to one of the satellite channels or something like that. Excuse me. One of the online channels, maybe. BBC Two, I don't know what BBC Two were doing. My highlight Christmas thing of the year was the Scrooge series, which ran on Monday and Tuesday. Of course, the whole lot are on the iPlayer. They're all on there. But that was good. That was good. Probably that was my highlight of Christmas television viewing, I would say. Gary's got gadgets galore in our house. We do like a gadget, although I'm not always too keen on learning how to work the new ones, if you know what I mean. Joe's just emailed in. Thank you, Joe. On the subject of the antihistamine things. Hi, Chris. My missus says you should buy Zantac from the chemist. It's brilliant for reflux use. We use it all the time. Yeah, well, thank you, Joe. I must say, Joe, I tried to avoid the foods that cause the acid reflux, which is crisps, and it's bread and stuff like that, and any of the bread bread type things like the pastry and pie or cakes or gingerbread probably. A little bit now and again is okay. It doesn't seem to bother me, but when I start having a load of it, then it is a problem. This morning, nothing. It's gone. So it takes hours for it to sort itself out, unfortunately. Yeah, if you've got something really important, then just email it, and then that comes in quickly. Adrian, increase the memory. I don't know if I've done that already in that old computer there. I'll check that later. So thank you for that. Oh, oh, look. Heidi's watching on the telly and messaging me off the phone. Are you, my love? That's it. That's how it goes, isn't it? I can keep an eye on the emails in case you've got something really important that we might miss sometimes, okay? Poor high-grade gaming is hungover. I don't drink, you see. I don't drink, very, very rarely drink, so hangover's not a little thing for me, really. Let's have a look there. Call the Midwives, the best programme on Christmas Day. Mandy, that's something I never watched, Call the Midwives. I've never seen that. So, of course, when the special comes out, I think, well, I never watched the series, so why would I watch that? Gavin and Stacey were very, very popular. I know that on Christmas Day. And as I say, my sister watched that. I probably would have watched that with her had I had stayed. But I didn't. Again, it's not something that I watched before, Gavin and Stacey, the series. So, no. I came back here. Oh, I'll tell you what else I watched. I watched Open All Night. Or Still Open All Night. Is it Still Open All Night? I watched that with David Jason. I loved it. Half an hour long, and at the end of it, he asked that woman to marry her. Have I met her, actually? When I was doing a quiz night at the King's Head Theatre Bar, she came in once. The one that Jason... sorry, what's the name? Oh, is it Arkwright? No, Arkwright was Ronnie Barker, wasn't it? What's the bloke's name who runs it? He runs the shop, and he's got that good-looking... I say boy, he's not a boy, he's a young man. Good-looking young man who does all the work for him, and he was doing a magician thing. Did anyone see that? Still Open, I think it's called Still Open All Night. Morning from David in Hemel. Good morning, David. And, oh, gosh. Who's this here? Oh, someone sending a little message. If you want decent quality from a TV, buy a decent TV. Well, I would have thought Panasonic was fairly decent, mate. I don't buy cheap audio or video, ever. No, we don't buy cheap audio or video. We don't buy Tesco's own brand or anything like that. No, I did have a Tesco's own brand telly once, and it died after about 18 months. Seriously. I wrote to Tesco's. They sent me a cheque for 300 quid to buy another one. But I didn't buy a Tesco's own brand. Like something like Techno, Tekno, or something like that. I can't remember now. Yeah, the woman, so he asked the woman to marry him. He had a like engagement ring type thing in a little box. And I think the relationship's been going on for years, and it's nice that when that happens. A bit like Charlie and Duffy in Casualty. You know, that relationship went on for about 20 years, and then they got married. That's really nice when you watch that on the telly, because you don't expect, especially if you don't expect it. You didn't see it coming. That's very clever when they do that on television. So that was nice, watching that Still Open All Hours and stuff like that. Mick, we watched Top of the Pops. Darren's daughter was singing. Darren who? Who's Darren? Darren's daughter on Top of the Pops. I don't know who that is. Don't know who Darren is, Mick. No idea who that is. Open All Hours. It was Still Open. I think it's called Still Open All Hours. Open All Hours was the one with Ronnie Barker. Then he died. A period of time passed, and then they brought it back as a one-off. Still Open All Hours, and it worked. And it's one of the very few comedies that are on there at the moment. There's hardly any situation comedies on the telly now anymore, is there? Which is a great shame. And I like all the old ones. You know, I like Dad's Army. I like It Ain't Half Hot Mum. I like Are You Being Served? I love all those old programmes. And there's... What situation comedies is there? Oh, I suppose... What was that one? Gavin and Stacey. That's a sitcom, isn't it? But I never really got into that. So when the Christmas special come along, I thought, no, I'm not really into this, you know. Darren Litton, you mean? I don't think he's got a daughter, has he? I'm sure he's not got a daughter. Technica is Tesco's own brand. Yeah, that would be the one. It was a Technica television. Technica television. There we are. Good. What else have we got here? Anyone doing the Boxing Day sales? Anyone doing that? Are you going to look for anything? I will have a look for a little Echo Dot with a clock on it there. Morning to Roy. Oh, Roy the boy, I've said hello to you. Are you still in bed, Roy? Come on, dear. Chop, chop. Up you gets. Time is coming along. What do you think of the Christmas #1? I haven't heard it. It's a sausage roll song or something like that. That's all I know, Alan. Haven't heard it. Isn't it a bloke with his little boy? Something like that. Is he a YouTuber? I think he might be a YouTuber, that bloke. I don't know. Don't know anything about it. Boxing Day shoppers in the sun this morning. Started to queue at 5 a.m. this morning. Oh, come on. 5 a.m. on Boxing Day. Anyway, they have been, as British people are expected to splash out £4 billion today. But you know, you can't. understand that number in your head, can you? 4 billion. You just can't. Oh, who's being rude? Who's being rude? There's no one being rude there, is there? Am I going to have to time someone out this morning? Anyway, bargain hunters... Humpers? Bargain hunters braved chilly temperatures waiting for shops to open at 6 o'clock in the morning, stuffing themselves with turkey and potatoes yesterday. My God, and there's some pictures of these queues and queues of people. In North Tyneside, more than 3,000 shoppers queued up for around the Silverlink retail park. And in Cardiff, others were waiting for the next Boxing Day sale to start. Eager British people were later seen leaving shops with their impressive hauls of clothes and accessories. I mean, I don't know when this was written, but it's only 11:30 now. What time did they finish doing their shopping then? Gosh. Two friends, Holly and Julie, they're both in their 50s, started queuing up at 5:45 this morning outside at Next in Liverpool. Well, maybe they wanted some new knickers. I think a few of you people could do with new knickers, couldn't you? Yes! Don't think I don't know who's got dirty knickers on this morning. They said about 160 people were already ahead of them before the shop opened at 6 o'clock in the morning. Gosh! Holly says we come every year. It's like a tradition. I think there was a time that I used to go out actually on Boxing Day. I think with my nephews actually. With my nephews and niece before they were older. And I seem to remember going to some possibly Sports Direct to get like tracksuit bottoms and things like that in the sale rather than before Christmas. To save a bit of cash. Holly says every year it's like a tradition, but we have been buying less as years go by because we're trying not to consume as much for environmental reasons. You find a lot of people like that now, especially the younger people, the millennial types. They're trying to buy less, which is fair enough. I mean, why do you need all this stuff all the time? Just stuff and stuff and stuff, you know. My children used to get piles of stuff for Christmas, but now we try and limit to 3 or 4 presents. I think that's very good. I also think it teaches children the value of having Christmas presents. You know, you ain't just shoving stuff at them all the time. The pair had bought gifts for family members and homeware in the sales. There's another one. Sean from Merseyside arrived outside Lush. What is Lush? I don't know what that is, Lush. In Liverpool at 6:30 in the morning, 3.5 hours before it was due to open. Oh, standing there in that cold. She said it's 50% off all the Christmas gift sets. So I'll spend about £200 and get £400 worth of stuff. I get here at 6:30 a.m. every year, and normally the shop doesn't open until 11 o'clock in the morning. Gosh. I'm layered up so it's not too cold. Fair enough. She said she expected the Lush shop to be mayhem once it opened. I'm sure it will be. But it's very early. Have you ever queued up to go shopping or anything like that? Wow. It will also... today will be the 3rd biggest UK shopping day in history. It will be more than double Panic Saturday's 1.7 billion pounds before Christmas Day, and almost double Black Friday's £2.5 billion. Sales started in stores at 6 a.m. at Next and 7 a.m. at Debenhams and 9 a.m. in most retailers. Security guards were on duty all night for queues, with in-store staffers work as early as 3 o'clock in the morning on Boxing Day, just to keep you happy. I mean, I don't like to make you feel bad about anything, but just to keep you happy, those people are going to work. Mind you, and some of them are on normal money. They don't even get double money now. Years ago, you used to go in work on a Boxing Day or a Christmas Day or any bank holiday, you would automatically get double pay. It was certainly like that. When I used to work for BT, eventually as an engineer, but first as a directory inquiry operator, I used to do all this overtime, you know. Got loads of cash. You know, you wanted to work, you wanted some money, you had to blooming well work for it. That's how I've always been like that. That's how I was taught by my mother and father. Mainly my father, actually. You know, if you want to work, if you want money, then you've got to work for it. So that was installed in my brain quite earlier on. And then when I started working for BT, I did all this overtime. If you went in on a bank holiday, you got double pay. If you went in on... I think it was double pay and a day off in lieu. Christmas Day. I worked a couple of Christmas days for British Telecom. Only 4-hour shifts. 4 hours. And we got triple pay and 2 days off in lieu. Not actually in a lieu. But you know what I mean? They were very, very good with the overtime. And other jobs as well. Even as a DJ. As a DJ, New Year's Eve used to be double pay. And, you know, if you're a reasonable DJ, you're beyond good money anyway. So New Year's Eve, my God, you were coining it. Not anymore. These managers have seen fit over the years to reduce it a little bit each time. I think they're on about time and a half now, the DJs, on New Year's Eve. And shops as well. Shops. When you used to work in a shop on a bank holiday, you'd be getting double pay. That was, you know, then you would want to do it. But all these shops now and many of the supermarkets have got it in their contract, you know, all days are the same, something like that. I'd very much be surprised if many of those people that are there to service your desire to save 50% of something are on any more money than they actually are, which is a shame. I think it's wrong. I do think it's wrong. Heidi's watching the Mrs. Brown's Boys set on the iPlayer. Yeah, again, Mrs. Brown Boys, very talented man, I think, who does that. But I can take that or leave it. You know, it just doesn't do it for me, I'm afraid. Doesn't do it. Have you spent Adam the Plumber's super chat yet? No, David. That takes about 6 weeks to come through, that does. And you must remember that YouTube do take 30% of that, David. Perhaps you haven't got anything like that. I've never noticed a super chat from you, David in Hemel. You know, perhaps if you could just come up to me and hand me a $5 at the next karaoke, I'll give you a super chat pen. I've only got 4 here. I've got blue, green, purple and white, and then they've run out. That's it. I've only got 4 super chat pens left now. Heidi's got too many pairs of knickers. Matthew Van has sent a £1.90. Oh, I haven't got my super chat jingle set up. There's always something I forget, isn't there? There's so much to do. And again, this is on the old computer, this music, which is hideously slow. It's hideously. Just a minute. Now, we're going to have to take a short break here while I try and play out the the Matthew Van super chat. Right, yeah, count the seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's how long the audio software took to load up then. But once it's loaded up, it's all right now. Look, drum roll. Okay. Super chat jingle. That's how long it takes to load up. It's so slow, this computer. I will look at the memory. Thank you very much. £1.99 super chat from Matthew Van. Thank you, sir. Very kind of you. David, 0 hours contracts are the other thing. Is that what they're called? Oh, Ian Days. I had to spend the end of afternoon with my mother-in-law yesterday. She was flying around on her broomstick. Told her to put it away as it's Christmas, not Halloween. I know certain people that don't need masks on Halloween. Thank you, Matthew, for that. Very kind of you, sir. Mick's waiting for his super key rings. I don't think they're going to be very quick. I think you're probably looking halfway through January, February for those now, because they'll have to print them all again. They haven't come back to me yet, the company. But then again, as I say, I didn't get the key rings until Monday. At which point I immediately emailed them. Then we had Christmas Eve, and now it's Christmas Day. So I don't think I'm going to hear. And now, you know, we're into that period now. It's the worst period of the year to get a response or anything done. You know, something goes wrong, unless it's like an emergency, like, I don't know, I hate saying a burst pipe, something which I have kind of experienced that, although it wasn't too bad. Unfortunately, and if you're a plumber, you'll know what this is. I've done that already, Alan. If you're a plumber, you'll know what Yorkshire Grey is. And at my house, I've got Yorkshire Grey, which is like a plastic pipe, which they put in houses apparently years ago when it was either they either ran out or copper pipe became very, very expensive. So they started putting in this Yorkshire Grey plastic pipe. And I've got one coming down into the kitchen at the house, near where the washing machine is. And it was I noticed there was a little pool of water, and it had started to leak where the cap was. And the plumber came round. He says, "Oh, you've got that, have you?" Well, he said, "Well, I'll try and do some bits and pieces to it." But of course, this stuff was put in years ago and is now brittle. It's quite brittle now. So he did manage to stop the leak, and he stayed about half an hour ago. He said, "I just want to stay here, a reasonable period of time, to see that it doesn't leak," and it didn't leak, and that's probably about 2 years ago, so that's okay. But I've got that blooming stuff in there. Unless you get a leak or something like that, people aren't going to come out to you. It's that period of the year, isn't it? Although it's completely normal to me. I have not had any extra days off, really at all, because the Christmas fell slap bang in the middle of everything. So the karaoke nights and the DJ, well, sort of the hosting nights, carry on as usual. Mick, invest in another computer. You're loaded. Who's loaded? I'm not loaded. Not loaded. I'll get a refurbished one. If I can't, I'll have a look at the memory in there, because I have upgraded the memory in computers before, and that's made a significant difference. There's a company called Crucial Memory, Crucial, Crucial Memory, right? And they have a little tool that you can download from their shop site, which looks into your computer and tells you whether or not you can upgrade the memory in there. I can't remember if I've done this or not, or I have a feeling I've already done that, and it said I couldn't. Sometimes you can't. You can't just buy any old memory off a shelf. It had to fit the computer that you want. All right. Adrian. Adrian was running a pub. I started cutting my DJ wages years ago when they were demanding too much money. They were your regular DJs and they wanted to work for other places because I pay ridiculous an amount of money I don't like. Well, good luck to you then. Good luck to you. So they were getting greedy there, were you? I'd like to think that I've never been greedy with DJing. I'd like to think that. Last year, I didn't ask for a rise at all. This year, I asked for a rise. But when I ask for a rise, it's like £10, please. I worked 3 nights there, £10 altogether. Not £10 then, £10 then, £10. There are, and Adrian is actually quite right. There are some very, very, very greedy DJs, singers, and drag queens out there. You would be shocked to hear how much they charged venues for work. And when they ask for a rise, it's like, "Oh, can I have another 50 quid? What? No, you can't. I generally ask for a £10 rise over all of my nights each year. Last year I didn't. And the reason I didn't is because the 3 years previously I'd asked and got. So I thought, no, fair's fair. This year I won't ask. But Adrian is quite right. There are some very, very greedy people out there. Not just entertainment people. Everything. Plumbers, electricians, a bloody lot of them, dear. How much? I mean, it's not too bad up here. It's not so bad up here at all. Right? But down south, to get someone to walk in your door costs you about 125 quid. And I haven't done anything. Really? That's a lot of money. Why don't you get an iPad for your new PC? More flexible. I have a mini iPad that I could use, but I find it easier to sit here with a keyboard and a mouse. That's why I don't use an iPad. I did actually, before I bought this old computer down up here from the house, I did actually have an iPad and I read the stories off there. Yeah, so I did actually try that out, and I found that wasn't for me. You're clicking, and you can't have a load of tab. I just found it very fiddly. I'm much happier with a proper PC up there for me. There we are. Okay. Parcels. Do you like parcels being delivered? I bet you will. Adrian's waiting for his fridge magnet. Well, perhaps you'll be lucky in winning one then. You can't just have one. You haven't won one, Adrian. Look, here it is. It's here. It's waiting for you. But you may not win one before we get to the end of them, dear. Your tickets are all in here. It's all fair and fair. Everyone's ticket goes, as my brother-in-law will happily tell you, and my sister, all those tickets go in that bowl. They've seen me do it with their own little beady eyes. The tickets go in the bowl and one is picked out live on this programme exclusively to United Kingdom Talk every Monday between 9 and 10 o'clock. There we are. That's it. Jason, my mother-in-law says she's going to watch yesterday's show after this. That's definitely going to be on the TV only. I need the iPad after this. Well, can't you sit there and watch it with her? Aren't you horrible? You sit there and watch that with your mother-in-law. That'll mean the world to her. Nope, you've got to go off and do your own thing, haven't you? I think I'm going to go for a walk along the river this afternoon because none of the swimming pools are open. And I look forward to that. Right, we'll do the raffle tickets after this little news story here. But we all like, let's be honest, we love having stuff delivered, don't we? Little Amazon boxes. You sit there. I shall be looking for one of those clocks, one of those Echo Dot clocks after it. If it's around the £25 mark, I may well get one. I may well order one. And then a little man comes along, a little box arrives, and there it is. Your latest parcel from Amazon. No queuing. No miserable people in the shop. No children with baskets to bang them into your knees. Nope, little man. Another little box. Well, that man who delivers your boxes may not be there for much longer. It may be coming by drone. Although, quite honestly, how they're going to deliver like a large American-style fridge by drone, I do not know. Parcels could soon be delivered by drones. With an official trial of Amazon-type aircraft set to begin in the new year, it will see an unmanned aircraft tested beyond an operator's line of sight, so he won't be able to see it. Yeah? A lot of these drones that you can buy, some of them are fantastic. You've got to spend money on a drone. Don't be buying a cheap one. You've got to spend the money on a drone. And these can fly for miles. You can't see them. But you know where they are because there's a little TV screen broadcasting you the signal from the drone. They are fantastic. We, back in the summer when we were in Skegness with my sister and her husband, and we bumped into this bloke who had one of these. It was fantastic, this thing. It goes for miles and miles, and if it loses signal, it realises this and then comes back to you from where it started off. Amazing. Anyway, it's going to see an unmanned small aircraft, drone, tested beyond an operator's line of sight, which is currently banned under normal aviation rules. An operator is in a control room, will monitor semi-autonomous drones being flown 50 miles away, initially carrying out inspections on construction sites in an advanced evaluation in February, is reporting The Times. Earlier this month, the Civil Aviation Authority published a guide aimed at making unmanned drone flights an everyday occurrence. Benefits could be including drone parcel deliveries, long-distance aerial surveys of infrastructure and construction, and surveying the scenes of accidents and crimes. I mean, these, I don't think they had them. You know, when they had that Chernobyl, that terrible nuclear disaster they had at Chernobyl. I suppose if they had then that would have been very useful thing to have. And of course, finding people, on mountains and things like that. When people go mountain climbing, not the sort of thing that's ever interested me, to be honest. And they get lost, or not necessarily they get lost, they just don't reappear when they say they're going to appear. And people at the bottom, where are these people? They should have been back, 5 hours ago. They'll send a drone up to have a look. Presumably, some of these drones will have like a little heat-seeking thing there, and it could fly over. There's the person there, and they're okay, hopefully. Currently, drone owners cannot fly above an altitude of 400 feet and must keep the aircraft within their direct line of sight so it doesn't collide with other aircraft. The Times reported West Sussex-based company Seas.ai would carry out the trial in February at the Skanska construction site in February using a drone inspecting work for engineers and architects. And the CAA has confirmed Seas.ai is developing technology for unmanned drone operations and said tests were being planned with various companies, which include Amazon. It says, we're now working closely with some of the world's leading innovators to make these amazing possible things a reality. So we could be having your little parcels delivered by drone. There you go. I mean, how easy these things for criminals and people like that, you know, to knock out the sky, I do not know. It may be very, very easy if you've got like what are those things, you know, the guns, but not actually guns. Oh, what are they? Air rifles. Air rifles. You know, how easy it would be to shoot one of those things out of the sky and nick your mobile phone. I mean, there's an ideal thing that they could deliver on drones. Mobile phones. Because they're not particularly heavy, are they? You know, when you think about it. Mobile phones are not that heavy, are they? You know? Maybe that would be an ideal thing to be delivered. But very, very nickable. The brand new iPhone, probably not the ones I've got because they're a few years old now, but a brand new iPhone flying past the windows of some of the houses in Hackney or somewhere like that. Ideal thing to be shot out of the sky and then picked up by some dodgy character and then sold on eBay. And again, you know, are these things delivered when you're not in? Thus leave them outside your front door? I'm not sure that that's a particularly good idea either. Anyway, there we are. Where are we now? Someone said, where's the swim? Mick, don't fall in the river. No, I won't do. It's quite high up at the moment. JJ, why not have a swim in the river? Well, only if someone comes and films it. Oh, did you hear that story? Was it Christmas Day? I think a family of three, it's either 2 or 3 people, they got drowned, didn't they, in that swimming pool in Spain? Something to do that there's, I didn't bring the story up because it was a little bit too serious, but as you mentioned swimming, there's some sort of device in the bottom of the swimming pool which sucks the... I know what it does. It'll be sucking the water out and then through a filter and chucking it back in again to keep it clean. Well, apparently there was something wrong with the sucking machine. It was taking the water out too much. Well, 3 people drowned in it. I don't know if they were actually sucked into this device or whatever it was. I didn't read the whole story, to be honest. Terrible. Maybe it suddenly went mad, you know, and then taking all the water down. What a dreadful way to go. Awful. And they were on holiday, weren't they? Don't know how that happened. Thank you. Thank you, Adrian. £10 rise is very modest because how I look at is how the night is producing profit. I wouldn't know. If you said to me, you should ask for a £50 pay rise, I wouldn't. I just wouldn't. But you're right. It is a lot of people. Some of these. You've been in there on a Saturday night in the pub on a Saturday night. You know those people are on 3 times my money. 3 times. It's unbelievable. Doesn't matter though. I'm happy. I'm happy. Don't need to be rich. Don't need loads and loads of money. Maybe that's why I'm all right. Maybe that's why I'm all right because that's how I think. But I think there's an incredible amount of very, very, very greedy people around in this world now. And I've mentioned before, these people that run tech organisations and billions of pounds in the bank, which they could never ever spend. If they were to contact Richard Branson's spaceship Galactica or whatever it's called, and they went on a daily trip to fly around the Earth and into outer space and back again, if they did that every day of the year and bought 10 houses every day, they would still never spend that money. What on earth is the point of that? This is pointless. They could take that money and give some poor town brand new houses and everything and share it about a bit. But no, they don't. They hang on to it. Oh, do you think those people, the people with like millions and millions in the bank, do they look at their bank accounts and, let's see what it's gone up today? Is it a bit like that? Joe, what does Jason mean? Never wished for a power cut before. Are you talking about my programme? I've only seen the bits. You're having so many conversations here. You should ask for more money, Chris, as the price of alcohol goes up all the time. Yeah, but they know I don't drink. I get a meal whenever I want one, but I don't have that at the moment, because of the weight loss thing. It was the Costa del Sol that happened. Dreadful. Paul and Lou, good morning. Hello to Paul and Lou. I'm back. The mother-in-law unfortunately popped round again twice in 2 days. How awful. I love it. Okie doke. Let's have a look. Michael Pullman, he's asking, what's his raffle ticket? Okay, Michael, I can sort that out at some other point. Right, so there's our emails done. Right, let's do the raffle. Who wants a raffle ticket? Next raffle is on the Monday morning, boys and girls. Monday morning is our next raffle here on United Kingdom Talk. Who's first? 736 goes to... We wait in anticipation of the first request for a raffle ticket. There is Matthew Van. Matthew Van with us live this morning. Thank you, Matthew. Matthew Van. Oh, let me just write those down there. Excuse me. There's Matthew Van. JJ, thank you, JJ's Motors. 737. Roy the Boy, 738. Mick Davenport, 739. Ian Days. Mick Davenport. Even... what was that one? Who did I just do? Mick Davenport, 7. Davenport, 739. 740 goes to Ian Days. 730 for Ian Days. Mandy Davenport, 741. David always checks to see when his state pension is deposited. Are you? I didn't know that. I didn't know you were retired. Mix, I've done Nick's. Diane Jeb, thank you, Diane. 756. Let's just put Diane's Christmas tree back on. Jingle all the way. Yeah, baby. Da-da-da-da. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bell sings. Jingle bell rock. I don't know how the words go. I love this, Diane. So fantastic. Diane Jeb, 742. Thank you, Diane. Oh, that's jumping up there. Well, there's Diane. Mike Reese-Ponto, 743. Mike Reese-Ponto, 744 for Sean Pye. 745, Heidi Oliver. Sean Pye. Paul and Lou, 746. Jason Hughes, 747. One man in his Sprinter van, 748. Jack Matthews, 749. David and Hemel, 750. 751. Acid's back again. That's because of the bread yesterday. Sorry, you're talking to each other there, aren't you? Jack, David. Adrian, the drones might be able to do rubbish collection, so we don't have those big lorries blocking up the road. Oh, I don't think they're ever... I suppose they would be, though. You could make them big enough to lift one of those, couldn't you, Adrian? When I think about it, yeah. Ross Herndon, 751. Ross Herndon 751. Des Sharon 752. Gary Reese Ponto. Very rarely do you have one, my friend. There you go. 753. Jason's going to take the dogs out for a very long walk. Poor little dogs. Where are we? Gary. There's Gary. Ross Herndon. Thank you, Ross. 754. There's lovely Fran. 755. Fran Green. Hello to moaning... Sorry, could you say good morning to my mother-in-law? She's the best mother-in-law in the world. Good morning, Jason's mother-in-law. He loves you that much that he didn't remember to tell me your name. Not that I'm one to cause problems within families, you understand that? Good morning to you. Is that everyone? I think that might be everyone. There we are. Okay, I think I've done all the raffle tickets. Have I missed anyone out? Please speak now or forever hold their tongue. Don't forget, you can't ask a raffle ticket for anyone else. Where are we? Michael Pullman. There we are. 756. He emailed in for his one. Even before we finished the show. There we are. So let's just type his one there. What's he there? 756. 756. There we are. Michael Pullman. 756. I'm sure. Didn't you win one last week? Did you win one last week? Have I sent something to you? I can't remember. Or did I say I was going to wait until... I just said I might have said I was going to wait until Saturday, did I? Tony King. Thank you, Tony. 757 for Tony King. There you go. Is that everyone? There we are. I think that's everyone there, boys and girls. Looks like that's everyone's had their raffle tickets this morning. Anyone else? Please speak now, my darlings. Anyone else? Meantime, it's time for today's birthdays. Who's got a birthday on Boxing Day? We are about to find out. Happy birthday on this Boxing Day. Thursday, the 26th of December 2019, to Kev Carleonis, 61 years old today. Happy birthday to you, Kev. Barry Jenkins. He was the manager at the King's Head Theatre Bar where I worked doing the quiz for some time there. Happy birthday to you, Barry. Happy birthday today to Bill Nichols. Happy birthday, Bill. And Rita Collins today is 75 years old. A very good morning to Rita and happy birthday to you all, boys and girls. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, boys and girls. I see that Martin wants a raffle ticket, 758. And Adrian, 759. Adrian Richardson. 759. Everyone's wishing people happy birthday now. Heidi's going off to watch Mrs. Brown's Boys. You enjoy that, Heidi, my dear? I should just do a little quick test of once I finish the show. That's really not it, because then I have to wait for the video to process up at YouTube, which can take anything up to half an hour really sometimes. And then I write the summary, so those people that haven't seen it already, they can look, oh, he's talking about that, and that today. I do that. And then I share it to various walls and people's birthday walls, and then it's done. So after the show, I'm actually here probably another 45 minutes to an hour doing bits and pieces, and then I shall go out for a walk and have my lunch and look forward to a nice quiet night, a little quiet night tonight, boys and girls. Keeping my lungs in fully functioning order. Thanks for joining us, gang. Lovely to see you this morning. I don't know if the swimming pool's open tomorrow or not. If it's not open, did that clock just change then, did it? It's a bit it's not 12 o'clock, is it? How did it get to 12 o'clock? Is it really 12? I never knew it was 12 o'clock. Gosh. I thought it was like 11 o'clock or something like that. Blimey, that's gone quick, hasn't it, today? Oh, that's probably because I got up so late. Yeah, because I slept in a little bit because of me my breathing last night. But there we are. Yes, if there's no swimming pool open tomorrow, then we'll see you again as usual for a morning show. Usually on Friday there's no morning show because I can't fit swimming and a show into a Friday morning, unfortunately, because that's when I go back to London. And of course, it's Friday again tomorrow, so back down to London. It's gone so quick. So very quick. So maybe I'll see you tomorrow morning, or if not. Have a lovely day, boys and girls, and thanks very much for watching and listening to the show as always. Don't forget that little thumbs up, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye now.